Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Just some motivation for students. Welcome back, welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about the do's and don'ts for the interview. And today we have a special guest, a very special guest. Mr. Rubin, please introduce yourself by stating your name, your profession, and how long you've been doing your profession.
Sure. Well, thanks for having me today. And I'm Danny Rubin. I am talking to you from Virginia Beach, Virginia. I have an educational company called Rubin, like my last name. And that company has been in operation since 2017. And we provide online resources to classrooms around the country, middle school, high school, and college to teach students how to be an effective communicator for college and career opportunities, learning how to write emails and use the phone and talk to people, hold conversations. It's a lot of different lessons and exercises that teachers use to help students learn to communicate. Prior to 2017 and prior to this company, I was a TV news reporter and a media consultant. So I worked in television news and newspapers and learned how to be a good communicator in the real world and brought those skills to the classroom side to help students learn how to write well and speak well for their own opportunities. I'm 37 and I graduated college in 2006. So I've been working and doing since for 15 years.
Amazing introduction. Just to give you guys a little backstory, I met Mr. Rubin off of his weekly broadcast that he has, and I think I've probably been on a total to 7 or 8 of
Oh,
them.
wow.
It's very educational. I've been attending them since earlier this year. I'm an FBLA, and FBLA teacher was the one that recommended it to us. And I was like, you know what? Let me try it out. Let's see what happens. And I just continue to stay fully with the broadcast. And recently, we just went in one where we talked about the interview etiquette, and with that, we just information straight out to the students. And who else is better to give you the information than the person that was giving me the information himself? So thank you again for being a part of the video.
Oh, sure.
Questions for
Sure.
today, and our first question of the day is: before going into the interview, what should a person do, and why is it important for them to do so?
Thank you for that question. And I did just talk about it on the webinar that you were referring to. And for any teachers who might watch your session, just know that our company, Rubin, we put on webinars throughout the school year where we talk about communication skills and learning about careers at the same time. Well, a lot of things we think about: get a good night's sleep, get your clothes laid out, be on time, set an alarm. All those things are important. And there's something that we often forget to do or don't even think about doing, which is to do our research on the company and even the person that we are about to speak to in the interview. So what I mean is I want students to visit the website of the company and really read the site, go to their news page, go to their blog, go to their services, really spend a good 10 minutes reading about their recent achievements and the services and products, so that when the employer says, have you been to our website yet? You can answer that honestly and actually have some things to talk about that you saw on their website. Oh, I saw you just won that big award. I saw you just finished that big project, or you just got that new contract. That kind of thing means a great deal to the employer, that they know you've already spent some time focusing on them. And I would even encourage students to do some research on the person that they're about to talk to. Look them up on their website or on LinkedIn, or Google their name and just see what comes up. Because if you can also talk about that you've shown you've done research on the person you're talking to, information that's already on the internet, nothing that they would be upset that they put it out there because they want people to know. So if you could say, oh, I saw that you started out as an entry-level employee here, and now I see you're a vice president. That's really impressive. If you can say things like that to the employer, then they're already in love with you and would want to consider hiring you, just because you've shown you did so much preparation before that big interview. And that's going to say a lot about the kind of person you are.
It is. And I'm making sure that going forward I use this exact same thing. Just do research, because it's gonna really put you out in that atmosphere of, okay, they went in their own time and we found out, okay, so they know that, okay, They know that
They're
I've been doing
serious.
YouTube. Yeah, they know shit. It's like in my case, they know that okay, you've been doing YouTube for 6 years. They could, and then you could ask the question, Esron, what what made you start doing YouTube at the age of 12? Like what made you? Because at 12 years old, you wouldn't expect somebody to be going into YouTube on a motivational
Exactly.
aspect. Like
Exactly. Imagine
what
if
was
they
going through
asked
your
that to
mind?
you, right? It would make you feel good because they already knew a little bit. So it's, as I said in the webinar where we were talking the other day, we want to always treat people the way that you want to be treated. And if you can do that in your life all the time, you treat people the way that you want them to treat you, you will find success. It will not be hard to be successful because people will want to work with
They
you.
definitely will. Definitely will. We'll be moving on to our second question for today. What are some important don'ts for being an innovator?
Well, one thing that it sort of carries on from what we just talked about, when the employer says in that first interview, then sometimes there's more than one round of the interviews before you get a job, right? And that first one, you're kind of getting to know each other a little bit, right? They like your resume enough and they bring you in, but you don't know each other. And what people often do when the employer will say at the end, so do you have any final questions for me? And what people typically say is, I don't have any questions, which is not a good answer. We should have some questions about what people often say. They start asking questions about what's the pay? When do I get paid? What are the benefits? Where am I going to sit? What is the company culture? And what types of things? Basically, it's all focused on like, what is this company going to do for me? And in that first conversation, I would be less focused on what they're going to do for you and more focused on learning about them. Because again, most people will be asking questions about how much, when am I going to get paid and what are all the benefits? And those questions matter, they do. But in this moment, you want to be different and you want to show you're curious about this business and you really want to understand what they do all the time. And the questions and the information about all the HR benefits and everything related to the position, you'll learn that soon enough. But focus on the company as long as possible, because the more you do that, the more interesting you will be to the boss who's talking to you.
That's very important. You don't want to go with that me. What can you do for me? You gotta
Exactly.
go. It gotta be more in the aspect of what can I do for you.
That's exactly right.
Gotta
And
go
not
more in
just
that
that. I
aspect.
mean, what can I do for you? Yes, but also just like I applied to this company because I'm interested in the work that you do. I'm interested in this industry, this field, this profession, but to prove that, I have to show you that I've been like learning and studying up on it. Because I could sit here and say, oh, I think this company's amazing. It'd be so amazing to work here. But how do I really know that as the employer if you haven't taken 5 minutes to read our website? I would think you're just saying the same thing to everybody just so somebody would hire you. And you really don't care where you work, just as long as you have a job. I would much rather want to hire somebody who's excited to work at my company because they've already been reading up about it and they just think it's great and they want to dive in. I mean, employers want to find people who are excited about what's going on every day at their business. So show it to them.
Definitely show it to them. That's the end of the video. Thank you so much for Mr. Rubin for coming on. I'll leave all his information below so you can go check out Rubin's company and everything that he's doing. It's so amazing. He's pouring into the students. And I very much appreciate that. I love people that's all about pouring in to this generation. So I very much appreciate and value your time right now. This is the end of the video. If you guys haven't already, like the video, subscribe if you're new. Please turn on your post notification. That way, anytime I upload, YouTube will send you a notification. This is Motivation for Students. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.